but you're either going to get to that point and want the thing bad enough to freaking do the damn thing, or you're not. Like, you're going to stop. Like, and most people, right, the authors that you see, like Jason, are going to be the ones that are like, you just don't quit, right? No matter what pops in your way. So I just want to point that out because people ask me, like, what's the number one, thing you learn from authors or the tip you learn from authors? And it's not writing, it's really just like keep going. And I just want to point that out because, a lot of times the challenge isn't the writing itself. So for me, it's never the writing itself. It's just like my mindset, or it's like I just have other stress on my mind and I just
Okay.
have to go do those things. And then coming back to write, sometimes I'm just too tired, or too difficult. So I do think that that is a really useful skill for people to have, is kind of hitting the F button and saying screw it and just keep pushing through. And like you said, right, like some days I'll just do 15 minutes, I'll do 10 minutes, and I'll just try and get something done. So I think it's really impressive. So
One of the things that I've picked up on is pantsers are really successful in in fantasy and science fiction and adventure books and thrillers in ways that other art forms maybe not so much. You don't pick it up and don't have to study it as much. Some people, um, others study it, and I think it creates almost two distinct art forms because they just kind of go such a different way. But one of the reasons I think that authors who are successful, that sometimes that authors are successful, um, who are pantsers, is that a lot of them just read so much, and the story of the characters and the plot of the characters and the adventures and the things that the characters have to go through and the try-fail cycles and the you go until you're obviously going to fail and you just find some way to rise above it and you just make it work anyway, is the exact skill set that you need to be an author
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
to do anything that is not being forced by somebody else, whether it's by money or by something else. The skill set that you need to set your mind to do something hard and do it is the plot of novels. So you get it drilled into you over and over and over again, and it teaches you both how to plot the novels and also how to be an author.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like that's like I'm on my fifth draft, and like I'm learning now, like with another project, right? I was like, I'm just gonna outline what I can, and then I'm just gonna I now I know where I like outline and then discovery, right? And I was trying to get to the, towards the edited side. I was like, I just know now that I just need to get this part set up and then to get to the bridge, to, get it ready for myself to self edit. And then that other spot's over here. So to learn those segments and where, right, you can, because eventually you're going to tap out, right? Whether it's motivation, energy, or ideas.
Yeah.
So I'm like really starting to slowly learn that. That's, I think, why I didn't finish my first prequel novella. Like I wrote a freaking 78,000 word, epic fantasy essentially, or fantasy, sorry, like book. And like, I was starting to go back and edit, and I was like, I couldn't figure it out, right? Like where, so I re-outlined and kind of rebuilt some things. But like now I'm learning that it wasn't actually anything was wrong with that, first draft, or it was like in the second or third, but like really it's that I need to learn. Now I'm learning where to segment things, right? And I'm learning like where to kind of get to, and then what I have to do to get over and to like the next spot. So I think that actually is, I don't think enough people talk
Yeah.
about that, and we talk a lot of, about it as teachers and as coaches, but I don't think we talk about it enough as writers and authors. And
Yeah.
like, and learning, like some people can go right, like Ben Shankman, holy hell, man. Like he basically writes like two drafts now and it like has an editor and he's done, like, but like that's how
Yeah.
Ben's mind works. So when I have Ben, looking at my story, I know I'm basically getting, going to get a whole other segment or
Yeah.
draft done just from his feedback, right? And like
That's awesome.
I just don't have that. Yeah, like, I don't have that skill yet, right? He's written like 7 books, and well, now like 9, right? And it's just kind of difficult, I think, for people to fathom, right? But like, it's like if you go and look at a basketball player, right? look up somebody that plays high school, and then look up somebody who plays high school really well. Look at a college like D5 versus a D1 versus somebody who's going to go to the NBA versus somebody who's going to be a Hall of Famer. Those different levels of skills, I think, really physically show you that that's writing too. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But like, I don't think that we think of writing as much as other skills, like, you know, being able to play basketball or being able to long distance run, right?